Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your beloved host, Shorty. Today we are going to be talking about Shredder, and there's a reason, well, there's actually a couple of reasons why this one's on my radar. Partly it's just because I've really enjoyed the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series going on. Like, even the fact that we're changing creators doesn't really bother me because it's going to the guy who did Superman Smashes the Klan. And I've dipped in and out of some of the side stories, and none of them have quite impressed me as much as the main one. There's different creators doing different things with different characters, and I'm like, yeah, for an awful lot of people who are hard into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, what I totally meant to say there, totally fine that you've got all these things interesting. But for me, I grew up with the cartoon and I watched some of the movies. I dip occasionally in, but I am very much a casual fan. So the idea of a Shredder-specific comic book interested me because it might give me some more like background on who the character is. Certainly, how well that would be done will be how I'm going to be rating this comic book. Also, for them to make we've got Dan Waters involved because fairly recently, having a discussion with one of my friends about the fact that there's not many comic book creators out there who I love who have a perfect record for me. As in, they've not put out anything that I've actively disliked. Don't get me wrong, some creators have put out stuff which I've liked on varying scales, but even people like Morrison and Moore and Ennis have put stuff out which just does nothing for me. So Waters, being relatively new on my radar, along with like your Alex Packnadals and your Denise Camps, they've done so many stuff that I've loved because I've only really read the new stuff that I've loved. Even some of the old stuff I found I've still thought to be really good. Waters is a guy who's been on my best of the year list repeatedly, has never disappointed me yet, and I was like, right, this could be an actual challenge because, like I say, I'm not that much into the deep lore of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's going to have to do some pretty impressive storytelling here to actually convince me that this is going to be worth carrying on. Now, sadly, doesn't quite end up with me wanting to pull this, but the artwork is actually a little bit more to do with that than the writing, because the artwork feels very basic. Good, don't get me wrong. Like a talented artist whose name I'm blanking on at the moment. And there's some nice moments when they do different things other than motion lines to show motion in a still image. And even when they have these moments of the background of frames isn't really showing any detail about the location, at least there's some texture to it. Yes, it is digital colouring, and yes, it has that kind of like flat wash, flat gradients that Marvel is so bad at, but it's better than those. And some of the character design is really good compared to something that isn't. Overall, I give at best a C to the art, with an occasional C plus for some nice choices made here and there. We were introduced to like a new antagonist, and I can't remember their name, and I honestly don't know that much about them, because when I saw them, at no point was like, oh man, I can't wait to find out more about who this person is, because they just look kind of generic. Now, all that being said, Waters is a good writer, and he does an awful lot of what I wanted in terms of, by exposition and character interaction, he drops a little bit more information about who the Shredder character is, why they have the problems that they do, why they act the way they do. And it's quite nicely done in terms of people thinking they know him, making him certain offers, responding in certain ways, and him just being himself and proving that he is who he thinks he's supposed to be. He has like absolutely assured self-confidence. And he's a little bit of a nihilist, which I mean, don't get me wrong, that bad guys being nihilist shouldn't be a surprise. But in my head, he was always like really proactive. Reading this version of him, it feels like instead of that, like, making decisions to accomplish something, it's more making decisions to tear other things down, to kind of prove to the world that their ideas of honor and loyalty and even gods and progress are just ideals. They are not real things, and as such, they don't deserve respect. There's a genuinely nice moment after an awful lot of stuff's happened where some weird corporation or government entity, I'm not entirely sure, is trying to impress him by bringing out this suit of like almost mech style armor, using bits of his old armor they found after they'd assumed he died, and it being this cool thing that gives him superhuman powers and massive like protection. And it's like, yeah, cool. He just tears it all apart and takes the bits he needs because he absolutely just doesn't give a damn about that and just is himself. And I did like a lot of that. What dropped it down a couple bits is the actual kind of plot when we realise that this protagonist has got some... Oh yeah, it's an interdimensional bomb, that's what she's got. And this organisation is trying to find out how she got it and trying to stop her using it, and Shredder has his reasons for doing it. There's quite a nice moment when literally, oh, what are you going to offer me to get involved? And they're like, oh, we'll offer you the chance to reclaim your honour. And he's like, well, honour just means nothing the same as everything else does. But he still does it. And it makes it intriguing for why he's going to do it. Like, why does he care about what this person's doing? What are his motivations beyond tearing everything down? Like, why would he work with an organisation which I'm imagining he wants to tear down as much as anything else? It's intriguing. It's certainly not disappointing in terms of I can't believe I had to read this, but it's probably the first thing of what I've read where I didn't fall in love with it. Sadly, I think a lot of that is to do with just he's setting up a character and a story in a world where I don't know enough about it to really engage, and that is on me to a certain degree. But still, good attempt. Till I see you all again, look after you everyone, stay safe. Bye!